Lab safety, physical and chemical. Safety regulatory agencies. There are two main safety regulatory agencies. There is OSHA, which most people are familiar with. OSHA stands for Occupational Safety and Health Administration. It is a government agency that mandates employers provide safe working conditions. Workers also have the right to know about hazards in the workplace. The second agency is the NFPA, which is the National Fire Protection Agency. This agency has developed a labeling system for chemicals, alerting how chemicals are stored, the hazards, and the reactivity of the chemicals. OSHA has inspectors that can arrive unannounced to conduct safety inspections in the workplace. Typically, OSHA inspectors show up when there have been several incidences in a row that may be an indicator or a red flag to them that there might be safety hazards in the workplace. Labs must document annual safety training for all employees, and employers must provide personal protective equipment, also known as PPE, and safety equipment to all workers to protect against the hazards in the workplace. Safety in the laboratory, there are three areas of potential hazards requiring training. Physical hazards, which are electrical, fire, weather, bomb threats, and accidental injuries. Chemical hazards, which include exposure to toxic, unstable, explosive, or flammable materials. And then biohazard, which is the exposure to infectious or bloodborne pathogens. A bloodborne pathogen is an infectious microorganism transmitted by blood or fluid containing blood. Electrical safety, there are major hazards in any area of the healthcare institution, which are always a possibility for electrical current passing through a person. Location of the circuit breaker boxes is important. The healthcare workers should be aware of the location of the circuit breaker boxes in case of an event of a fire or electrical shock. Electrical safety, do not use power cords that are frayed. Do not use worn control switches or thermostats. Always unplug before maintenance performance on any instrument. Actions for liquid spills on electrical equipment should be carefully handled. If equipment has electronic caution warning labels, do not open it. Avoid using extension cords. And while collecting blood, avoid contact with any electrical equipment. Using electrical equipment, always use a 3-pronged hospital-grade electrical plug-in. The 3 prongs, the third prong actually has a ground to it, which helps if there were a possible electrocution or a lightning strike. Know the actions to take in an electrical accident. Run periodic drills for safety, physical safety, so fire drills, emergency weather, or potential bomb threats. Lifting, use your legs, not your back, and avoid twisting the back while moving heavy objects. Hair length should be tied back if it's below the shoulders. If it's above the shoulders, it should be away from the face. Trash should never be pushed down in the trash basket with hands or feet. Sharp safety, never recap a needle. Always activate the safety shield needle device. Needles are always discarded in a puncture-resistant red container with a biohazard symbol as such. Chemical safety, avoid contact. Wear gloves and other PPE as necessary. Use a fume hood for chemicals that produce harmful fumes. An example of this would be formaldehyde, which is a carcinogen. Storage of chemicals. You should always store acids and bases, flammable liquids in a chemical cabinet that is flame-proof and well ventilated. There are 2 types of coded labels. There is the HMIS and then NFPA coding system. And the HMIS is one of the ways to label, which stands for Hazardous Material Information Sheet. This is the NFPA system that is sometimes used and is indicated by the diamond shape, but it still has the 4 different colors. As you can tell, both labels will have a blue color, a red color, a yellow color, and a white color. Blue stands for hazardous health, which includes or means the injury will oftentimes occur if it is inhaled, ingested, or the skin is exposed. Yellow is reactivity, or its stability or instability. Especially, it indicates if there can be a reaction with another chemical when it comes in contact. Red is flammability, whether it has the ability to ignite and cause a fire hazard. And white is other specific hazards or the need for PPE. And then these labels also have a numeric code, and 0 being no hazard or minimal hazard, and 4 being the most extreme hazard that can possibly be. Chemical accidents. So when an exposure happens, we need to decontaminate the area either via a shower or eye bath. It is important to learn how to use both of these, which we will talk about in class. Material data, MSDS sheets or material safety data sheets. We need to know where to find this information and what it is. So these can be found in the lab, and an example of a material safety data sheet is in Blackboard for acetone. MSDS sheets, material safety data sheets, required to be in the lab for every chemical. MSDS sheets describe the hazards of the chemical, the PPE required, and the body organ that could be affected following exposure. Also includes first aid and further medical treatment that is needed upon exposure. Fire safety, what do we do in an event of a fire? We use a couple of acronyms for fire safety. We use RACE, which means rescue, alert the alarm, contain the fire, and extinguish or evacuate from the fire. How do we use a fire extinguisher? The NFPA has come up with the acronym PASS. So pull the pin, aim at the base of the fire, squeeze the handles, and sweep the nozzle side to side. There are many different types of fire extinguishers. Ordinary combustibles can be included as paper or wood products. Flammable liquids such as chemicals, gas, grease, that sort of thing. Electrical equipment, combustible metals, and then combustible cooking such as oils. Most fire extinguishers are ABC fire extinguishers. They are a multi-purpose fire extinguisher. We oftentimes will have these in the healthcare facility, and most people have them in their homes. If you notice a fire, you would first follow the RACE acronym, and then if it was safe, you would use the extinguisher and follow the PASS acronym. Sometimes instead of using a fire extinguisher, we would use a fire blanket if someone is on fire. We would wrap them in a fire blanket to help extinguish that.